there are all of these things that I have to read. Okay. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting will be conducted via remote means. Members of the public who wish to watch or listen to the meeting may do so in the following manner. Video conference with login information available on the agenda on the town website. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be available, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the Topsfield website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Having said that, I'm very happy to call this meeting to order, our first meeting of the fiscal year. And then I have to make one more announcement. This meeting is being recorded via Zoom in the event that the connection is lost at any time during the meeting. The meeting is also being recorded by Topsfield Cable TV and will be available on the Topsfield website Cable Video On Demand page. Is there anyone else present who wishes to record the meeting? No? Okay, well, we can proceed. Our first item on the agenda is 256 Boston Street. And I believe that we're looking at a continuation of this. Is this correct?
It is correct. Good afternoon, everyone. Our engineers weren't able to conclude everything, so we want to give them a little bit more time to go back and forth.
Sure, I gather there's been a lot of communication back and forth, which is good. Let me ask you a question. Do you have an approved septic plan yet?
Yes.
Is it the one that was approved for the last iteration, or is it for this? Is the septic system in the
For
same
this.
place? Okay.
It was approved last year, but while we were going through the process as well.
Okay, did you revisit the septic system? I mean,
with
are
this
you still
engineer,
using,
no.
are you using the same approved septic plan that you got approved last year?
I am.
Oh, okay, very good. Just needed to know that. Yeah. Okay, so we need more time. I'd like a motion to continue the hearing on 256 Boston Street for a stormwater permit to our August, I think, 6th meeting. Is that correct, Lynn?
Yes.
August 6th.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Sure, second.
Second, great. Okay, roll call. Zilly,
Aye.
Jenny,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
and I vote aye. So we're all set. You're all set for August 6th, and hopefully they'll have everything worked out by then. Okay,
Thank
great.
you, everyone. Thank you, and have a wonderful month.
You too.
Right, thank you. Okay, now we have 106 South Main Street, and this is the public hearing. Mr. Clerk, do you have the notice?
I do.
Would you be so kind as to read it?
I shall. Notice is hereby given that the Topsfield Planning Board will hold a public hearing during a Zoom Planning Board meeting Wednesday, July 9th at 7 p.m. Instructions will be posted on the agenda on how to join the meeting via Zoom. To consider the application of Alex and Florentina, I'm going to get this wrong, Quizazi?
Kiryazi, I think.
Kiazi. Thank you
Close
very much.
enough, though. Thank you, Zilly. You got it perfect.
Kiazi, thank you. I always appreciate being corrected. For premises located at 106 South Main Street, Topsfield, requesting a special permit under Chapter 220 of the General Bylaws, Stormwater Management and Erosion Control.
Okay, thank you. And I understand that we have a similar situation, that your engineer Alex was not able to finish up with the consulting engineer.
He's actually on right now, Adele. I'm not sure where it stands, but maybe he can shed some light on it.
Oh, yeah, so there's Adele.
Yes, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone.
Hi,
So
Adele.
yes, let my camera. There you go. Hopefully it comes on again.
There you go.
Yes, so we did work on the project, submitted the revised responses to the consultant this morning. Just before the meeting started, he sent us additional remarks and comments. So we have to go through those comments now and address them. So yes, we probably need more time to be able to address and satisfy the reviewer comments.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. And I asked the same question of you as I did of the previous applicant. Is the septic system approved yet?
I was actually going to ask for your help there. We submitted our plans in May and haven't heard back. So I don't know what, I think there's no current director of health. That might be the holdup, but I talked to Sue in town. She said there's a backlog. So I don't know if you guys have any idea of what's going on, but
Well, in fact, I just got off the phone with the chairman of the Board of Health. They do have a significant backlog, and that this dates back to Jerry's resignation. They do have someone who has been tackling the problem, and he's got a pile of septic plans that he's working through, from what I gather, from date of application. So there is no estimate, at least she couldn't give me an estimate as to when all of these plans would be approved and reviewed and approved or adjusted or whatever needs to be done. This does have an impact on our work, everyone on the planning board, because typically we get stormwater plans that are based on the septic plans. That's what people usually use, the approved septic plan, and they work from that into the stormwater management because of the requirements of, setbacks and disturbance and so on and so forth, that in turn affects stormwater. So if this condition continues, we will be facing, because we know we have a number of stormwater permits coming our way in August and into September, that we're going to have to figure out what to do. It's a problem. So Alex, all I can say is that I know they're working through the pile, of applications, and there are quite a few, and that there's no estimate as to when everything will get done.
is there no ability? I believe the engineer who looked at the stormwater plan made a comment that the septic shouldn't be an issue. I don't know how it all works, so don't fault me for this. But is there any situation where we can get approval of the stormwater while we wait for the septic?
Well, I was going to recommend, and the board should discuss this, typically we condition stormwater permits on the fact that the septic system is built according to the approved plan. And that's what we usually see, for stormwater. So I'm suggesting that if this backlog really continues, for a long time, that we would simply have to condition things differently. I mean,
Condition on the
in all
septic.
fairness to applicants who are waiting for things, that we could condition. It's saying that the septic system would have to be built according to a plan approved, by, the Board of Health, and that if there are any changes from what appears on the plan that we receive, we would have to review it. I'm thinking that maybe, what do the rest of you think about this? Board members, do you think that that would be a fair way to proceed?
Well, it would be, but I think we would need as-built.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, essentially that, just like sort of a road acceptance, we would need an as-built, a certified as-built plan to then say, yes, okay. But
Right.
I would
Yeah.
be okay with pursuing that if that would help the applicant.
Yeah, I think we could ask for proof of the approval from the Board of Health. Or somehow or another, you're right, Steve, we have to get confirmation that whatever is actually put in, is what we saw generally. Okay. Anyone else?
I
No?
guess I did just wonder, is there any, I don't think we have any authority to say this, but maybe just a suggestion with the Board of Health. If they have septic applications or plans in front of them that they know will also be coming to us soon with stormwater, if they can prioritize those, or if it's a
Well,
sequence of,
I would be reluctant to do that because there are people with failed septic systems, who
yeah,
apply,
okay.
there are
There's
people.
other priorities.
I think it's only appropriate that the applications be taken in the order in which they were received.
Yeah,
Exactly.
okay, that makes sense. I just figured it was worth asking.
Yeah, well, we're looking at new construction, but people,
Yeah.
many of the other plans that are being considered are for people who are dealing with problems, with their
Yeah.
septic systems, and that they need to deal with it immediately.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're depending on them, So I think that would not, perhaps, it's a nice idea, but I don't think we
Yeah.
could do
I'll chalk that up to a rookie question.
it. No,
I
no,
still get to do that
Yeah.
for a little longer.
no, it's fine. But as I say, the difference between new construction where no one's depending on a septic system at this point
Gotcha.
and an existing, home, I think that the fair way is just to deal with them in the order in which they appeared. And so, Alex, yours may be near the top of the pile for all we know.
Fingers crossed. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Okay,
Yes.
so we need to have a motion to continue the stormwater public hearing for 106 South Main Street to August 6th.
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Second, wonderful. Okay, roll call. Steve,
Aye.
Jenny,
Aye.
Silly,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Okay. Good luck, Alex. Good luck.
Mr.
And-
Mr.
and-
Quezada, can I just make sure I'm pronouncing your last name correctly? Because that's important to me that I get it correct for you.
Absolutely.
It's Kizazi?
Curiosity. The J silent. It's a tough one.
Curiosity.
Kiriazi.
Yeah.
Curiosity.
Curious.
Curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And I apologize for my mispronunciation earlier.
I'm used to it. You'd be surprised how often it happens. So.
It's important. I love names, and it's important that we recognize
I appreciate it.
that.
Thank you.
So,
Okay, and Adele, thank you for joining us tonight.
No problem. Thank you. Good to see you
Thank
all.
you.
Yeah,
And
Take care.
I hope everything gets taken care of soon.
yeah, we'll take care of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye. Okay, yes, we do need to, guys, think about this, how we are going to condition stormwater permits if this backlog at the Board of Health continues.
well, I think that's the only thing we can do is we have to have the applicants, unfortunately, produce certified as-bills. I mean, what else can we do?
Well, we can have the Board of Health certify, because they inspect the system as it's going in. And they approve it when so they are handling the inspection and they get the as-bills.
Oh, so we
yeah.
could just,
Yeah, so I think,
I'm sorry, Martha, go ahead.
no, I mean, your point about as-bills, I believe that the Board of Health collects as-bills for all of these systems. And so that they would have them, but we would just have to have confirmation that the location of the septic system as shown on the plans that we have reviewed is the same. And if there are any deviations. So for instance, I know 256 Boston did get an approval for a septic system in a location that I think is generally the location that's shown on the stormwater permit. I believe it is, but that probably should be, verified,
Yep.
Anyway,
And so the Board of Health would be reviewing these as-bills.
yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
And if that's the case, then we could take confirmation from the Board of Health that as long as we have a dated plan that we can reference,
Right. And what we get are the tank and the leaching field. That's the information that we have on the plans that we've been receiving. They're not the approved septic plans that we used to get. And so I'm a little puzzled as to why people aren't being encouraged to go deal with their septic first. But
Mm.
they seem not, for whatever reason, we are seeing that people are not dealing with their septic first and are kind of doing things in a different order. Now we have two more in August, one at 110 Raleigh Bridge and another one over on Asbury Street. So we'll have these two continued and then two more. And we don't quite know what the status of those two, might be. So it's, there's been a real backlog and sort of backing up and difficulty, in trying to deal with all of this in the Board of Health. So,
Right. But yeah, it seems to make sense to allow the Board of Health. We depend on their expertise
mhm,
to tell us that a particular system will meet the requirements.
right.
So that makes perfect sense to me. I mean, I do read all the plans that we get in our packets, and I try to come up with logical questions that I don't understand, and I need some more information. But in terms of soil perks, that's not my bailiwick. So
Right. Yeah, well, I think none of us, the only time we have to worry about percolation is if someone is doing a rain garden, or some kind of detention area.
right, but then it's the reinfiltration
Right.
of the fluid of the water. So
Yeah, and our engineers always require that the soils that are under those features be adequate, to handle the drainage. So that's ours. Anyway, just a little heads up that things have been kind of backed up and and somewhat disorganized, in terms of who's doing what. Um, okay, now we have our annual board organization. Now Greg isn't here. I like to wait until we have all of us, but
let's just give everything to Greg.
yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. But we put it off from June. We really should do something tonight, I believe. So, that means that we have to deal with the chair and the clerk and then any liaisons to any boards that we might still be having. Okay?
I nominate Martha as chair.
Second.
Yeah. Thank you. Is there a second?
Billy
Second.
second.
Billy seconded.
Billy seconded, yeah.
Okay, now I will make my regular speech. If anyone else would like to be chairperson, that would be fine. I am not clinging to this, I appreciate your confidence, however.
Martha, I love how you are able to guide this board.
Oh, thank you.
Your knowledge and your ability to recall is phenomenal.
Oh,
And
thank you.
so I will add a third to Zilly's.
Right, thank you. Well, but everyone participates and everyone offers a tremendous amount, and that's why our board functions, I think, as well as it does. So you're all great. You're wonderful members. Thank you. Okay, so we have to have a vote. Jenny,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Zilly.
Aye.
I guess I have to say something. Do I have to say something? I'll say aye. All right, I'll do it. All right. Now clerk.
Nominate Steve.
Oh, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Great. Okay. Steve, did you want to say anything? Are you willing?
I am happy to serve.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. All in favor? Roll call, Jenny,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
I vote aye, Zilly,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks you
Okay,
both.
what liaisons do we still have? I mean,
That's
we
a
used to
good
have a bunch-
question.
We used to have a bunch of them. The soil removal board.
I was that at one point, but I don't think I've been that for a couple of years.
Well, I don't think it exists. I mean,
I
it
don't think
has,
it exists
I mean,
anymore.
it does
right.
exist in theory, but it hasn't had a meeting for,
Even when I was on that, there was never a meeting.
ever
Ever.
meeting.
And that's back when Greg was running the show.
Mhm.
And I called him to say, hey, do we ever have? No, don't worry about it.
Yeah, yeah. And what else? We used to have one to the mapping committee, but they've been kind of quiet. Anything else?
I think I've done mapping too. Um,
Yeah,
I
I
don't,
think we've done mapping. We did have a rail trail committee liaison at one point, but they're all set. They don't need a liaison, from what I can tell. And no one has asked us to produce a a body for any other committee, that I've seen.
no, I want to be fence sitter or hog reeve.
Oh, that's appointed by the select board. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to talk to them.
yeah, the fence viewers. We actually, I think, do have fence viewers.
We do, well, we do. It's, oh, we have a fence sitter. It's a coveted position.
Nancy
Fence
Luther was
sitter.
Nancy Luther, that's right. It's Nancy Luther.
and Steve Clark was a fence viewer at one point. Yeah, so we do have fence viewers, and they do every now and again have something to view. Other than that, I don't know. Lynn, do you have any idea of any other group or board?
No, I'm not aware of any.
Okay,
Well, then can we just acknowledge that we seem to have addressed the needs, and if there is something we need to fulfill later, we will do it later. If it turns
Sure,
out.
that sounds good. What about, is there any, I was trying to remember what it's called, where they, climate resiliency plans. I think that we have one for the town, right? Was there a committee for that?
And for what
I feel
plan?
like climate resiliency, I think is the term.
Oh, I thought that was
Like, I remember,
sustainability. I thought that was sustainability committee. No?
no, I mean more like I went to something with like other departments where it's more like looking at preventing floods on Route 1 and
Oh, that
Topsfield,
was the
Ipswich
hazard
Road.
mitigation. The hazard.
Hazard mitigation.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so I
was
had the
on
wrong.
that.
Yeah.
And
So
we had
is that all set? That was the only, I was just trying to think if there's anything else that happens that it might be
Those-
nice to have one of us just know what's going on.
The plans are on the website,
Okay, so that's all set.
approved, and we should, we've done some of what's been suggested, but maybe this is a good time to say, there are plans all over the place. There are open space plans, and there are
Yeah.
hazard mitigation plans, and there's the master plan, and that in various of those plans, the planning board was designated as the one to do something.
Mhm.
I think we've done a lot already. But I think it would be worthwhile just kind of reviewing some of those plans to see what we were expected to do.
Mhm.
Because typically what happens is that there's a plan, but then no one goes and contacts all of the people who were supposed to be doing parts of the plan.
Yep.
So, but I do know that there are some out there. And the hazard mitigation one, as you know, with the floodplain
Yeah.
work that we did, and
Okay.
some of the other, some of it was part of it, and there were some other elements, I think, that we addressed. But I'm sure there's more, so. So we can do that. And the open space plan, gave a lot of, a lot of different groups responsibilities, and to what extent we've followed through, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, the other thing to think about, now is a good time to say it. This is when we start thinking about what we need to do for next year's town meeting.
Mhm.
And so looking at plans to find out what we were thinking about doing or we were expected to do, is a good thing, because maybe there is something that we can do, if it's a zoning issue. Um, we do have our old, what we were working on last year, the historic property redevelopment, bylaw. And I think that would be terrific to resurrect and to, start working on again. Um, because I think it's a very useful, it could be a very useful tool, for us. So anything else? Any ideas about what should be done for town meeting next year? Any glaring problems?
Other than everybody walking out after the school overrides,
Oh, right.
no.
Can we think of anything that, is, clearly in need of attention?
I need to reduce my taxes.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you got your tax bill? You got your estimates?
Oh my
I
gosh,
looked at them? Well, I did. Anyway, I
um,
don't know that there's much we can do about that.
no.
So it's time to,
I'm sorry, I concur. I like the idea of the historic properties bylaw that you had started to put together.
yeah,
I think it would be useful to have that in place. We just don't know down the line where it might benefit the community to have acknowledged that there are historic properties within the town limits. Who knows what the Commonwealth will come up with, but it might be able to have, but having acknowledged that we have historic properties and have a plan to how to work with those properties can't be bad.
right. Well, it may be that no one would be interested in doing any of what we were suggesting with some of these historic properties, but one never knows. And as I say, I go back to the Coolidge estate, that there was an opportunity for a wonderful organization to buy it, improve it, use it, and we just didn't have, we couldn't do it. Even though everyone wanted to do it, we couldn't do it. And so rather have the ability there, should something like that come up again.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
now they could do a conference and event facility, but if someone said, gee, I'd like to condoize this place, and, turn it into multifamily housing, you know, okay, we now have the tool if someone
Yeah.
wants that.
Yeah. I like
Just
that.
thinking ahead.
Anything we can do to put in place words and legislation, I guess, that can help preserve the character of the town, I am all for.
Right.
So,
Me too. Absolutely. Okay, well, summertime's a good time to, ponder on these matters, and we will reach out to the zoning board to find out if they have any, anything that has come to their attention. And we do reach out, typically to the building inspector, just to see if they've discovered anything that's a problem, or that creates confusion.
well,
Okay.
one thing possibly to discuss is conference and event facilities, because I know zoning board is having a very difficult time with the Connemara Farm
Now that's
issue.
all resolved, isn't
Uh,
it?
Not really.
Yeah, I think they got their special permit.
Yeah, but it's not, I don't think it's the resolution of the
Oh,
issue. Yes, they have their permit for now. but I don't think it's the resolution. So it's something maybe we should just discuss as a planning board as to how we might structure applications for such a facility, particularly how facilities would impact neighbors. You know, and not just the 300-foot abutters list that is currently in our books that applicants need to notify, because the main issue, of course, is audio, is sound. And so I just think it's worth discussing.
I think we should ask the zoning board for their input, do they
I
want?
agree.
Do they want to see any kind of change in the language of the conference and event facility? Do they want us to create or together create rules and regulations? Because we don't have rules and regulations for conference and event facilities. Is there something that we could do? Because I know there's another one that's going to be showing up at the
Going
ZBA,
up.
another outdoor conference and event facility,
I
that
think we should, I agree. I think we should contact the chair of the zoning board to see if what can we do to help them?
right. That's fine. If there is anything we can do, let's certainly consider it. Okay, anything else? Looking forward? I mean, this is where we start, I will tell you that our state representatives were so impressed at how organized we were for both the 3A district and for the ADUs. And that other communities have been running into all kinds of difficulty, as you know, for the 3A and with the ADUs. And my comment was that we start in the summer, before the town meeting. And we work hard through the fall to iron out all of the differences. And so that's why we start now, so that we're well prepared. And if we have to hold public information sessions, in the winter, we do, to engage as many people as possible. So
Well,
anyway, so they conveyed their congratulations, to, the planning board for having accomplished those two things with such minimal difficulty.
well, I would like to acknowledge your leadership and Lynn's support for
Oh,
making that happen.
well, thank you. And indeed, kudos to Lynn for everything involved with those.
Yes, Lynn,
Totally.
Lynn, you do not get nearly enough credit for how you support these boards. So thank you.
You're very kind, Steve.
Okay, well, now we have the minutes of June 4th. Have we read the minutes?
Yep.
Corrections from me.
Any corrections? Amendments?
No. Speaking of Lynn doing a good job.
Yes, of course.
I'll
Okay,
move to approve them.
a motion to approve the minutes?
Yep. So
Seconded.
moved.
Okay, Zilly did, Steve second, all in favor? Jenny,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Zilly,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome.
Perfect job as usual. Okay, anything else anyone wants to talk about? Relatively related to our discussion? Okay, well,
I have a lot that's not related, but
oh,
that on the call.
okay, well, I guess we should have a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Anyone?
make that motion.
Okay, I mean, we could stay here later if we wanted to, Okay, Zilly moves to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
And Jenny seconds. That's great. All in favor? Zilly,
Aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Jenny,
Aye.
and then I say aye. Okay, well, thank you, everyone.